Okay, I did not see that coming. To complete and utterly trolling. You may call me a bit naive or something, I don't care. Even if the greatness writes and says that if you didn't see this coming, still gotta say I felt very trolled right here. I was very certain that the verdict was gonna come out this week. No, instead, all we got was just simple talk. And all the more proof on why Soma is gonna win. And I'm just saying, and I wanna say, since when did Shokugeki no Soma become this slow in pacing? But then, yeah, actually, it's never been that fast, but it's starting. But the pacing of Shokugeki no Soma is surprisingly becoming very slow. And given from what has happened to Shonen Jump recently, that is actually not a good sign. At least not for me. But then again, even, whatever it's fast or slow pacing, I have very bad feelings for this. So, hi for those who are watching. It's the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer, to bringing you chapter 190 of Shokugeki no Soma. And I basically spoiled the entire chapter for you. Yes, the vote is not done here. So, what is. But still, why is it a worthy chapter? Well, I recalled I talked about how I wish that June would be invited here and then she would have slapped Hayama for being, well, for not having any character development. Well, then actually that may not happen, but in fact he has already met Jun way before this. And Asami once again shows why he's a scumbag. He twisted the words almost like an advocate or a lawyer did. Something like uh, um, the Hayama thought that by winning this, he and Jun will be and the research will get back. However, Asami said that first you must wipe out Yukihara Soma from the map. And but Asami bended that rules that Hayama thought by winning this he would get this everything back. However, by joining Central means to swear loyalty to Asami. Therefore, well, he has to do what he has to say, and then he can grant any wishes as long as they do as he says. So yeah, that was actually kind of dirty move. But also, seeing that I have not so high praise for Hayama, I gotta say to Hayama, you were pretty stupid. I mean, granted, even I would have, if I was a miracle cook like Hayama, then even I would have fallen for that lie. But still, I mean, not even I would certainly have fallen for that lie. But still, did Asami really? I mean, how could Hayama really believe that Asami would have kept his word? He's a guy that twists words. It's also a bit interesting how he determined Asami is to get Yukihara Soma, I mean Soma, away from this, despite him being the son of his beloved mentor. I guess he realizes that Soma is just that much a threat. So before all this, Jun had a talk with Hayama, begging him to leave the organization immediately. However, there's something that telling me leaving that organization is not as easy as being fired from it. But Hayama tried to defend it, saying this is the only way we can keep our research. And do you have any other way that I'm all ears? But Jun all said, if you realized look, we already realized what's actually going on. Even if you bend to Asami Senpai's every whim, there's no guarantee I actually do what we want in return. So Jun, I mean, here Jun is the one who has a point. She's always been the ditzy, adorable genius, but here she is actually making a very valid point. Everything that Hayama will do for Asami will only further make him Asami's pawn. And this also seems to prove a point I had last week. I mean, last chapter or so. You may disagree with me, but I said some points that when I thought Jun would slap Hayami for throwing away his character development, the way she says that, I have absolutely no desire for you to take part in this idiocy, and Hayama takes that as actually insulting because what do you mean? What do you think I've been doing all this time? This for me, that seems to imply what I said last week, that I feel like Yun wants Hayama to change, not just be her research partner or stuff like that. I mean, granted, I can be wrong, but remember, Yun was so comically happy when Alice manipulated her and saying that she wanted to help Hayama in this research. She got so happy because she finally saw that Hayama had friends. So the way, of course, this could just mean that she doesn't want Hayama to end up becoming such a despised central person, but I think it's also implying that she wants Hayama to fight back and not being a pawn. And so they begin to talk, but back from that flashback, they all begin to talk where it turns out that no, Soma's honey is actually a very strange, rare honey, Amur Kork honey, something like it's a member of the tangerine family, honey made from its flowers that has a fresh, clean sweetness with a faintly lineage bitter aftertaste. Depending on the climate and various other factors that influence cultivations, honey can be produced from the tree every year, making Amur Kork honey a rare, expensive variety. So, how did he find it? Well, Nasan praises the fact that Soma put in such sweet honey. And then one of the sisters, is it Shelia or is it Bertha, wondering how did he find it? It turns out that Soma borrowed Kuga's henchmen in order to find searching. And here, once again, Kuga shows, well, some character development. Kuga may be obnoxious and a bit of a brat sometimes, but he's still a bit impressed with the fact that when one of the other sisters asks, "What do you mean about the recipe?" Turns out that he acknowledges that when Soma has a goal, he will not stop until he finds it, and that is why Soma is actually ranked very high on liking lists. Even as much as he's ignorant to love, as much as he's ignorant to feelings, and as much as I feel like sometimes as much as he fights for the power of feelings, I sometimes feel like he takes that for granted. Maybe because, as we were noted, Soma is the kind of guy we want to become. A guy that can admit his faults and look into it. I mean, I can't admit my faults and I can't look into it, so I would always be jealous of him. But I think that's why we like Soma's character. He will not rest until he finds it. And he did. The gang, they searched all the tree while Kuga sat down and drank some of his milk tea. And he did it over and over again. I mean, how many tribes? Maybe thousands. Who knows? It took a bit more time, so Nasan says that Soma's dish has the face of a chef, which is actually a goal of Soma. Soma wanted to find the face of a chef kind of dish, and he did it now. So Hayama, being a little bit of a sore loser, although he hasn't lost yet, asks why. And it's Dojima who's saying that you pursued as far as you could your own brand of deliciousness. No, of course I crafted perfect balance of, all by yourself, without knowing whose sake you were cooking. After all, we cannot forget that Jin believes in the cooking of friendship. I mean, he believes that if you cook for someone special or cook for in order to have a taste for a certain someone as a special hospitality, he believes that can create a delicious cook. Which is all the more reasons why I want Megumi to pass, get it? It would be too heartbreaking if she lose. But so we have a flashback on Hayama, how much he liked when Jun praised her dish and stuff like that. But when Hayama prepared the dishes this time, well, he had no one he could really cook for, and that made him cry. So, and he did all of this for Jun, maybe, but now Jun wasn't really there to give him support, so to speak. So, did Hayama really, from the bottom of his heart, tried every single possibility you could with true fire? I want someone to call this delicious. You lost that desire, have you? So how come Soma did it? And finally, Soma once again snaps, saying that quit looking down on people, Hayama, saying, I made this so you could have tasted. And that is actually his goal. He wanted to say, to defeat Hayama, surpass Hayama in this moment, and also make a dish where uh, uh, that he disliked the fact that Hayama didn't take this match seriously, at least to him. And what the meaning for this is, the reason why Soma didn't think like that is because Hayama just didn't. You didn't cook for someone you thought it was going to be delicious for, or find any faults. I mean, sometimes I wonder, do Soma make dish for someone to say delicious? Well, he did it to Erina, but Soma is all about practice. So he cooks up one to serve to Hayama. Will the next issue finally have the verdict already? Ugh, I mean, seriously, this is seriously being pushed a bit too far. My book. I mean, we had an awesome cover page, and also a bit of a doom. I mean, they're not doom, but they say that the volume 21 is that in Japan will be released the 4th of November. Isn't that the verdict when the entire world will forever change, right? So, what a time to release that manga volume. But still, yeah, this is basically this chapter. All in all, it wasn't really that bad, even though I still dislike the fact that we haven't found out the verdict yet. But I guess this will solidify that once again Hayama will realize, oh my god, what have I done? However, this also proves even further that once Soma wins, he will get a call, and there we will hear that his friends have lost. I mean, it's just that kind of situation right now. This slow pacing, this only cooking duel, I just know it. It just feels too much despair foreshadowing. But Soma has done it. He has created a face of a chef. So will the verdict be taken next issue? Given how what we saw for now, we shouldn't hold our breaths. But give me your thoughts if you have any.